Hello everybody, my name is Scatter. Welcome back to Divine Journey 2. Yeah, I didn't do it on purpose, but at least it's nice that we can start off and just look at that huge LP total. And speaking of huge amounts of blood magic resources, I have been letting this run for a few hours now, and we have about 1,000 of each will crystal here. The will, this is all full. The only thing I haven't done is bring AE2 over here and move the interface and stuff, but we shouldn't need that just yet. What we do need is I'll grab a stack of these, a stack of these, and a stack of these, and these are the three crystals, the three will crystals that are going to be needed to make the Angelic Mixture, and that is the next sort of crafting step. So Angelic Silicon Crystal Mixture. So this is made from a bunch of stuff. So it's made from silicon, so effectively... So this is the crafting stages, right? So you need compressed sand and silicon blocks, which is just this normal silicon. So that's quite a bit of stuff there to make this one sandy silicon compound. You make one boule by smelting it. You sawmill that, you get 4 silicon sort of plates, and then you can kind of alloy those together for this stuff and then smelt them to get that, and those are the crafting. That's how you get that. So that is what we're going to do. The only other thing that we need is to grab some of the electrotine. So I don't know how much of this actually has spawned. I don't know why that's not working. I feel like usually Silk Touch works, even if it, I guess maybe just the speed. But that's okay. We can just fix this pickup for the first time in quite a while now. Just one should be fine. And the mining level on this stuff is only iron, so it should be good. Yep, sure enough. So we got it with Silk Touch. Each one of these smelts into 4. We're going to need 24 for the thing. So let's just see if we can vein mine out the stone here. We did get some of this electrotine in with it, but for the most part it looks like we Silk Touched it, which is good. There's the obsidian sort of platform I built. Hopefully that didn't take up any of the electrotine that we were meant to get. We do have 40. Which is not a huge amount, but we're not even, halfway through the meteor, so I'm sure there's going to be plenty more to get. So what is the best way to process this? Now, we can use the tectonic initiator, and for how much of an annoyance this stuff is to get, this might be worth it. I don't know, though, how much of it we're going to need straight off the bat. So 24 makes one of these, and then... what is this actually going to be used for, right now? Probably the block, right? Yeah. So we need 9 of these, which means we need 9 of these, which means we need 9 of these, which means we need 9 times 24. We might not have enough. I'll have to mine out the rest of the meteor, but I think that should be fine. You know what? It's probably worth it to set up a tectonic initiator setup for stuff like this that we really care about having as much out of it as possible. Because I think the 1 to 6 is the best, because you can Starlight infuse it to get 6 as well, but other than that, the 6. So yeah, I'm gonna go set up another pulverizer next to a magma crucible for this stuff. I think that's worth it. So for some reason this is something I thought I had a setup for before, but I couldn't find any of the tectonic initiator augments, so I did have to make one. So I guess I didn't have it set up before, but I could have sworn I did. But in any case, I do have it set up now. And because this is the absolute maximum yield you can get out of the electrotine ore, I'm not too worried about saving it to use at a later time. And I'm just going to throw all of what I have into here right now. That is extremely slow, so I'm going to upgrade it all the way. But I did go ahead and, pattern it up just so... if I get any more precious resources in the future that I can tectonic initiate, now it's there, and I can just expand it with the patterns, and it's all good. So that is super, super good. Augment, we got enough of those. Perfect. I wonder if any machines with augments are only allowed to go just a little bit slower than they otherwise would, because... this needs to be in and out. There you go. Because there's one less slot for the augments. I guess it does have to be that way, huh? Interesting. Enchanted items to be used as fuel. Ooh. Crazy. Okay, so with that, we definitely have enough electrotine to do what we want to do, which is to make 9 of these angelic mixtures. So we definitely want 9 of those, and they should craft up pretty quick. I think all these machines are pretty quick. I did make a point to put each of the silicon compounds in different alloy smelters so that we wouldn't run into this sort of problem where the alloy smelter gets backed up because it can only do one thing at a time. So I think that was a pretty good move. And then I think the only bottleneck here now is the sawmill, which I did put over here. And I put it over here because there was a free channel considering we're going to move the Hellfire Forge over to the Will chunk. That's something that's definitely going to happen, so I figured might as well just not have that there now. And, you know, if I need to make... The next time I need to craft anything with the Hellfire Forge, I'm going to move the auto-crafting situation over here. So that's all fine as well. And with that, we should have this done by now. So we got 2. Still crafting the silicon a little slowly, and I think that's because I didn't configure this. This should be able to go in a sawmill. This does say sawmill basic, but I mean, that just means it's the upgrade. This, I have no idea why it's not working. Maybe it's red. Oh, it's redstone. It's redstone. Okay, it's always a simple solution. Okay, now these should be done soonish. But I'll grab them for the quest because I think the quest is just make some of these. Yep. So just 1. This is very peculiar. It does seem peculiar. I don't care for those rewards at all. And then this gateway key, any Abyssal Craft portal. Oh, okay. So I guess this other key, you can't directly use this to escape the Dreadlands. Okay, continue with the quest to be able to upgrade it to a functional key. Okay, so we do have that already, and we're going to need to use it to make this. And this is with the Hellfire Forge. This is a one-time craft, so I'm not going to bother auto-crafting, but it looks like we have 2 of these ingredients already. If we look for key, we have the Dread-Plagued Gateway key. There's one, and then the Angelic sort of mixture block here. Crystal block, there we go. So there's 2. What else do we need to make this? We need, not a problem for that amount of will either. Crystallized mana cluster. So this is just going to be, ooh, a whole block of mana diamond makes 1 of those. And we need 9. So we need 9 blocks of mana diamond, which is not too crazy, to be honest, but it is a little inconvenient, especially considering mana diamonds come from hyper diamonds, which I still haven't automated. I did read some comments pertaining to a creeper statue or some such thing, and telling me that that is how we would want to automate that. See the problem, look, even those 30 took up like half of the mana pool. So I think it's fine. It is fine. It is fine. And like right now, sorry, not granite, graphite, I have just been kind of making like a stack of these at a time. I guess I could make 2 stacks. And then just kind of exploding it. Because it doesn't, we're not at the point where I need to auto-craft it just yet. We're very close, but not just yet. So that should be all fine. Now we can't make 7 of these yet. Still missing 16. We can make 5 more. And it looks like we just need 16 more mana diamonds, which is not too crazy at all. Okay, we got our 9 mana crystal mana diamond blocks. We can throw those in the crystallizer. That shouldn't take too long in there. And the one other thing that we need to finish this craft is a Corrallium Plate, which takes 6 refined Corrallium and 3 Corrallium pearls, which is going to take a little bit of time. The resources shouldn't be too bad. Corrallium Plate. I thought I had this on an autocraft at some point, but I probably only needed 1. So I will add it to the autocraft now. Will I? I don't see it here. Did I get the name wrong? Maybe, or am I just not finding it? No, I am just not finding it. So there we go. It's definitely not there in the autocraft though. But we should be able to autocraft that without too much trouble here. Hopefully, yes. Okay, so that'll take a while. Oh, well, it'll take a little while. No, it's not even that bad, really. So, yeah, I'm not too concerned about that at all. I'm just feeling good. And, yeah, when we got all those things done, we can go ahead and make the key to the rest of the Abyssal Craft dimensions. I can't believe there was a time where I thought that this was a long autocraft and that there was a lot of stuff having, you know, all the stuff that needed like hundreds and hundreds of different alloys and like 36 different steps for the alchemy table. This is just nice right now. This is nothing at all. All right, with these 4 relatively easy to get items, like once you get them, it's easy to get them, I guess. At least they're items that I wasn't really disappointed once I saw them. I wasn't like, oh no. I was like, yeah, that's not so bad. And then it uses up half of what we have, and it's going to refill by itself, which is just incredible. And there is the key. We're really going deep. This time we got 6 Blacker Lotuses. Still don't care for that whatsoever. But now that we have this key, that opens up some stuff in Chapter 18. So let's take a look. Mine up some Athaxium, which is easier said than done. The only tool that can use it is your Blood Magic Bound Pickaxe, which is wonderful because I don't have one of those. So I guess we're going to need to go ahead and make one, which we made the Bound Blade before. It looks like it's going to be made very similarly, so that's fine. So we're definitely going to need to get one of those and mine some Athaxium, and then use the Staff of Rending and collect some Olmethal Ghoul Flesh, right? So I remember that. I remember the Staff of Rending, so we're going to have to use that. What was that other ingredient here? Olmethal Essence. Oh, that's from the Staff of Rending, and the flesh, I assume, is their drops. Okay, and how much of that do we need? Just the one for now, for the quest, just the one. Oh, it's to upgrade the Necronomicon. Okay, so yeah. Looks like that is indeed all we're going to need it for. Unless we care for the huge crystal bag, which I don't really right now. So yeah, let's prepare and then go in for that. Just had a rough moment where the Rune of Fire from this craft flew out of the boundaries of the runic altar and did not get picked up by the item importer. So that's a little worrying now that I know that can happen, but maybe it can be fixed just by putting a few blocks around. I'm not sure, but either way. And I know, by the way, I'm doing a little bit of manual crafting with the Hellfire Forge. That's okay. I need it for one little item. You know, I did have to make like 6 reagents this way, but that's okay. I'm doing it for like a couple little items. It's fine. It's totally, totally fine. This is not going to be an ongoing issue. All I need to do is get a bunch of Fluix cable, run it over there somehow. It's going to be really annoying, but it's okay. Okay? It's okay. So, let's just get this binding pick and be done with it. Okay? So that's going to get us the binding pick, which is apparently the only way we can get the things that we want to get in this dimension. And there it is. Okay, cool. So we got that. We're also going to need to upgrade the... Well, I actually don't know if we need to do this, but I imagine we do. Upgrade the Rending Wand. But we can do it pretty easily. It's a pretty easy recipe. And the... excuse the little bit of lag there. It's a pretty easy recipe. It only takes 2,000 LP. And the stuff that goes into it is not too hard to get. So you guys are probably going to have to get out of here, though. As soon as the game catches up, realizes that you're there. There we go. Okay. And then, so just put the Rending Wand in there. That's what we're going to upgrade. And then just some of this stuff. No sacrifice or anything crazy. It's a pretty easy craft, all things considered. There we go. And with that, there's even a quest for it. With that, so let's see, our portal is where? It's over here, right? Yeah, the portal is right there. Let's put the next portal down right there. That's going to take us to Olmethal, which I'm guessing is going to be even more scary and dangerous than this place is. Looking forward to it. Okay. It's very dark. thought I was underground for a second. I'm not. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like the white buildings. That's very cool, actually. I like that. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for Omethal stuff. So you just right-click you with that a bunch of times. And we're already a quarter of the way there to one of the essences, which is great. I don't know what to kill here to get the sort of skin fragment, whatever it was called. Maybe you guys will drop it, but I'm sure something here will. Okay, so there we go. We got our first essence, and I believe we should only need one of those for now at least. You have a decent amount of health. Okay, ghoul flesh. All right, let's fly up here a little bit. So the essence, right? So the essence is used for a couple of things. It's used to make a Cthulhu statue, but I don't think I'm going to want to do that really anytime soon. It's used to make all the statues, I guess. And the staff of the Gatekeeper, which may be something we need a little bit later on. But for now, it looks like all we need is 8 flesh. We can use that to upgrade here. So, yeah, the Omethal Ghoul here does drop that. Even these guys have like a decent amount of health, really. See, how much is that? We got 6. And that was just 1, wasn't it? Yep, now that's 7. I'm also going to show you something I found out about the handy bag. There's an option called Restock Mode. So I'd put that on all. And basically, if you have any items in your handy bag, it'll just automatically push them to fill out stacks in your inventory. So I have this 1 dirt block, or 1 dirt stack. And as I'm placing them, it's just keeping them filled from the handy bag. And it even works with stuff that's not in your hand. So if I take this 1 stack of gold nuggets, you can see it's constantly being filled up by the stock that I have in my handy bag. So basically, now that I have the handy bag, and I do feel bad that it took me this long to realize that I could use it this way, but now that I have it, I can basically carry my gun everywhere without having to take up slots for the gold nuggets because they can all just stack up in the handy bag. That is really interesting. Aluminum cluster, power stone, nitrate cluster. That is going to be some useful stuff, I imagine. So it's cool that that spawns here. But maybe the crystallizer is going to be the way to go most of the time. But in any case, well, before I leave, actually, I should just make sure that there's nothing else that I really need from here. So we're going to upgrade the Necronomicon, right? We need the coins. Oh, Athaxium, right? So we need... Is this Athaxium? It is. Harvest level 8. I don't know if it spawns like naturally. But let's go ahead and use the bound pickaxe to mine up some of this. Oh my god, it takes forever. I'm about to get hit and lose the progress too. I'm gonna vein mine it. That may be a terrible idea. Okay. Not a terrible idea. That worked very well. How much did that use, like LP? No, it didn't even use LP. Or if it did, it didn't use that much. So there's Athaxium. All right, very cool. And then what was the other? We need stone, coins, coin engraving, engraver. Okay, so that's what the Athaxium is for. So we'll get into that just shortly. Well, again, it's an issue with the quests, right? Because this should be a parent of this. The coin engraver, whatever. It doesn't really make that big of a difference. Okay, we're back home. First of all, let's go ahead and make the Omethal skin of Omethal. So there we go, just to get the quest popped off there. Now the engraver, dark steel anvil is pretty easy to make. The Athaxium and then blank coin engraving, we do need some neutral reagents. So before we move on here, I am just going to go ahead and set back up the Hellfire Forge auto crafting over here so that it doesn't become more of an issue than it already is. I don't know the best way to bring the AE2 system over here. I'm thinking underground, although that is really annoying because I'm going to have to like dig a tunnel for it. But I mean, that's probably the best way. And then if there's an infrastructure for that, I can have it going down to the blood magic stuff then, which we're going to, or the blood altar stuff, which we're definitely going to need, and then maybe running down there for some other stuff down here maybe in the future. So it's work that has to be done at some point, so we might as well do it now. We could automate the pure daisies here as well with some ID stuff, so okay. Let's go lay some pipe. All right, there is the line. So it's running all the way across here. It actually crosses over another Fluix line that I had running that crosses over kind of this one. Now, granted, I laid it before it was like crossing over these, but it goes all the way down here to this. Now, at this point, if I like didn't have this laid and I was just hooking this up now, I would say connect it over here. Makes way more sense. But I think the reason it's not is because this was a full line at the time. So now this is just kind of a mess. But it's fine. As long as it works, it's fine. So I have all this, you know, obviously it's not like covered up or filled in or anything. And, you know, I can clean it up a little bit. Say it with me now, later. And for now, we can just hook up what we need, which is going to be the auto crafting for the Hellfire Forge. So that means I do need to take all of these patterns and stuff over there. So I'll do a couple of trips, and I'm also going to have to take all the variable cards in here and make sure that everything is kind of set up in the same way. If I don't touch the variable cards, then they should be fine because they still reference each other and stuff. I'll just have to make sure that all of this is sort of similarly or exactly set up in the same way it is. I believe this thing just pulls out buckets, right? Yep, okay. So I could probably change that to a regular item filter, not a big one actually, but let's get this migrated over there. Okay, I think this is all good now. One thing I did want to point out that I ran into is that when I had it all set up, it was complaining that it couldn't find part ID 26. And when I looked, I saw that part ID 26 was this items variable card that came from the inventory reader. So the inventory reader was set up here, except I guess because I broke and replaced it, or maybe because it's like tied to the block it's on or direction it's facing, something, it had a different part ID. So I was very, very worried I was going to have to set up a whole new variable card, because like this is where it starts from, right? So I was like, if I have to set a new one here, that means that this one's going to have to reference the new one, and this one's going to have to reference that new one, and I was going to have to redo the whole thing. However, I took the old card referencing the old part ID, stuck it in here to the item slot, and when I took that out, it actually keeps the variable ID. So then all of these are able to reference this, which is referencing the new inventory reader. So it's all set up well and good, just like it was before. The only thing I have left to do is the conduits for the bucket, and I'm actually going to set that up slightly differently because I don't want to kind of have it snaking around, so I'm just going to move this over a little bit so then I can put the conduits going directly across there. Okay, there we go. I think that's a pretty clean setup, and per my calculations, it should just act the exact same as the other one, just with a recharging will gem, Tartaric gem. So that is something that we shall not have to worry about really anymore. So that means that we can go ahead and move on and make the engraver, the blank coin engraving. They take a neutral reagent each. So we should be able to go ahead and make 2 of those. Easy enough, easy enough. Let me go babysit this just to make sure that it is working as intended. And it looks like it is. So we really shouldn't have any problems there. Very good stuff, very good stuff. Yeah, my issue with it is this and the alchemy table, when they have to pull out empty buckets, or even when they have to pull out the crafting result, which is not an issue with the forge, but it is with the table. Like ender conduits, they're very slow. Like they pull 4 items at a time by default, but it takes a while for them to register new items. Other systems don't seem to have that problem, so I might switch to something else. But conduits are just so nice in all other respects. Like it's a huge slowdown for the processors as well in the inscribers. Like the ender conduits, they just take forever to pull the stuff out of it, and like the speed upgrades make up for it by doing bigger stacks at a time, but it makes literally no difference when they can only move single items, as is the case here, or when you just want to move a single item very quickly, as is the case with pulling the buckets out. For the inscribers, I know there's a mass inscriber coming a little later, so I'm not super worried. But with the Hellfire Forge and the table, I don't know. I'm just thinking once I passive the table stuff it's not going to be so much of an issue. In the Hellfire Forge, I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of stuff going on anyway. But in any case, let's not worry about that right now, because right now we need to make some coin. So 2 dark steel anvils, and then 2 blank coin engravings. I don't have any paper in the system, but that's fine. Okay. Coin, and then just some Athaxium, which I just threw in. And there we have our engraver. Now, I don't know if this thing takes power or what. Place some kind of a coin engraving in the bottom slot and a blank coin in the top slot to engrave it with the face of one of the evil gods. Lovely. Oh, you can just find this in some of the houses, I guess. Oh, well. I guess we are going to have to make 4 more of these, which means we need 4 more neutral reagents, which are some of the easier ones to make, really. The concrete powder I remember being kind of annoying, but at this point it's insanely easy, so not really such a worry. But yeah, I don't know if this needs power. I guess I could just throw it down anywhere, and if it does, I can connect it to power. Or I can just put it over here with the other Abyssal Craft stuff, which I guess is what I've been doing. How about right there? It should be fine. Like this other Abyssal Craft stuff doesn't need power, so I can't imagine this will either. Engraving, blank coin engraving. Okay, and then we can use that, so we can just make it into some of this stuff, and then in the engraver we make the engraved coin. So if we make just a coin, that cannot be used to make the new Necronomicon, but any of the god coins, it looks like, can. Right, they just need to be all the same, probably, is what I'm seeing here. So what is going to be the easiest thing to do there? I think we have... Do we have a lot of Shoggoth flesh? No. But do we need multiple of those? We probably only need 1. Ooh, does it use up the engraving is the question. Let's find out. So let's make 1 Cthulhu coin, and let's find out how this machine works. So first of all, so we make the blank coin. Oh, I guess we have to make the blank coin this way first with the coins from thermal and some presidium. Okay, and then we can throw that in there. Right, so yeah, we need the coins first. We need the coins first. Do I have any coins from thermal? I guess we need the numismatic press, which I recall there being a quest for. But I guess I haven't actually made one. But it's super easy to make, so that's fine. And that is an augment for what machine? For what machine is that an augment for? The compactor. Okay, so I'll just repurpose one of these quickly. And then I guess, can this be made with any coin? Tin, silver, lead. It appears so. So I only need 3, and I'll go ahead and start the autocraft on the presidium as well. Oh, no, we have one. Hey, how about that? Tin. Tin, we don't actually have a whole lot of tin, do we? That, I'm sure we have a lot of ore, so it can be remedied pretty quickly. But, so I'm just going to go ahead and assume it makes 1 each. No, it makes 3 each. Okay, so now we have way more than we need. At least for now. I'm sure we're going to need more in the future, but let's just go ahead and make these 4. And then engraving. Does it use up the engraving? Yes or no? Okay, they have durability. So 10 uses on each. That's actually probably the best outcome, because if it was only 1, then I would have had to make another blank one because I have to use 4 of the same one. And if it didn't, then I probably just wasted these. So that is just about the perfect outcome, I think. So you very rarely see that, feels like, these days. But it looks like as soon as this finishes up, we are going to be able to upgrade the Necronomicon, which I believe is going to be the next quest. Yes, okay. That quest may have given us important information about it, but guess what? It hasn't stopped me before. Okay. There we go. The Omethal Necronomicon. Done. Just use any 4 engraved coins. All right, very cool. Very cool stuff. And then that gave us 4 neutral reagents, so that was a little bit of work that I could have saved myself. The Omethal Staff of Rending, this is the final one, so I guess this is the final dimension as well. It's not super hard to make, but also not super important. So I'm just going to move on to Essence of the Gatekeeper. Fly to the center of the world to find the Omethal Dungeon. There's an Omethal Teleporter. Okay, we're not going to use that, I don't think. You'll find a room where you can perform rituals, and then go up to the 2nd floor, fight the Gatekeeper, stay away from the explosion, and then drop the Essence of the Gatekeeper. All right, well, I think we're going to leave it on a little bit of a cliffhanger and go ahead and fight that boss next time. But we got it into Chapter 18 finally. Chapter 17, I guess 15 was pretty long too. Chapter 17 felt like a pretty big slog, I won't lie. But you know what? We're out of it. We're moving on to bigger and better things in Chapter 18. I'm super excited to get this stuff. I don't know what this dice-looking item is. Terra Steel, I know, is super exciting. We're going to get the next heart container upgrades. We're going to get wireless crafting terminal, which is crazy. We're going to get so much crazy stuff in this chapter. And then we're going to move on to Thaumcraft, which, like, I do like Thaumcraft. I know it's a pretty polarizing mod, but I do like it, so I'm pretty excited overall about what's to come. But for now, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.